how you doing today? My name is Spike My Shadow. How the hell is everybody doing today? Welcome to the very first Titans of TV. Today, we're going to be talking about all my favorite shows, and I'm going to be ranking them from 1 all the way to 5. Okay? So, we're going to take all these shows and we're going to look at some different factors. We're going to look at 3 main things. We're going to look at character development, we're going to look at story arcs and plot, and we're going to look at new things. What new came to each show this week and made them the Titan of TV? I'm your host, Spike Von Shadow, and let's get started. Now, we're going to take and rank my 5 favorite shows, and they are Dragon Ball Super, The Walking Dead, Flash, Arrow, Supernatural. I know you're going to ask yourself, Spike, that's 6 shows, because one won't make the cut this week. One has to get cut. Now, throughout the year, Titans of TV will change as shows come and shows go. But who will be the Titan of TV this week? Now, let's start off with the one who isn't making the cut this week, number 6, you could say. And that would be Supernatural. Supernatural was a good episode this week, but it wasn't a great episode. It was about Sam and Dean, and they're still looking for the darkness, still trying to find a way to stop the darkness, and Sam gets shot, and Dean thinks he's dead, and long and short end of it, he ends up taking all these drugs to kill himself in order to go into the afterlife, or into the space between the afterlife, and try to bring Sam back, but Sam isn't really dead. In the end, we come to terms with the fact that Sam and Dean will do anything to keep each other alive. And like I said, it was a good episode, but it wasn't a great episode, and that's why I give that number 6. Now, let's get to number 5. 5th favorite show this week, or you could say Titan number 5, would be Arrow. Arrow did a good job this week, but it wasn't one of their best episodes. This week's episode of Arrow was about Brie Larson. She was on last year's episode of The Flash, in which the Atom came in and they had this whole crossover team-up thing, and it was really, really good. This week's episode of Arrow, though, featured her, in which little-known fact about the girl who plays Brie on the show is she actually was on The Walking Dead as the character Beth. You might have remembered her from The Walking Dead. But the overall episode was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. But the other shows, just, they did better. You know, we didn't really see a whole lot of new in this week's episode. Not really a whole lot of character development, except for the fact that Oliver stepping up his game and really taking control of the team. And we got to see Curtis step up and kind of fill that role that Felicity is kind of vacating at this point. So, let's get to number 4. 4th best show, 4th best Titan, whatever you want to call it, would be The Walking Dead. I thought The Walking Dead were really good this week, but I thought the other shows did better. You know, this week's episode of The Walking Dead was really good. It's the episode before the season finale. We got Negan coming next week, especially this Sunday is going to be really epic, because not only do we got Dragon Ball, which will feature Vegeta, and I'll get to that in a little bit, but Vegeta versus Cabe, the Universe 6 Saiyan against Vegeta. We've got the season finale of The Walking Dead and WrestleMania, which I will be doing a review for WrestleMania. So I'm super excited about that. So, but this week's episode of The Walking Dead was real good. It was, you know, everyone is getting to normalcy after taking out the Saviors last week. And this week, we find Carol has left the compound, and the team is going Rick and the gang is going after her to figure out where she's going, what she's doing, and she ends up killing a bunch of these Saviors. And at the end of the episode, what ends up happening is They don't find Carol yet, but they're on her trail. And especially Morgan and Rick, they run into some of the walkers, and we see some guy running away, fleeing, which I'm thinking he's one of the members of the kingdom, which is going to be a big part of season 7. And then at the end of the episode, the big what the fuck moment was seeing Daryl get shot, but we all know he's not really shot. It's just one of those things to kind of grab your attention at the end. But it was a really good episode, though. Now let's get to number 3. Now, 3 of my 3 favorite shows this week, or you could say the 3 Titans this week, did an exceptional job over the other 3. They really stepped up their game and really showed why they were the Titans this week. Okay? Number 3 was The Flash. One of the best episodes of the season in Flash. We actually, because of the fact that Barry is struggling to get faster. He's trying to find a way to beat Zoom. So in order to do this, he must travel back in time to talk with Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne, Harrison Wells. And it was that whole play between Harrison Wells, Eobard Thawne, and Future Flash, and how in season 1 we really see this growth between Flash from season 1 to season 2. In season 1 he would have been freaking out, oh! But now that he's beaten the Reverse Flash, now him going back in time, you see them more at even odds. You know, we see them both on a level playing field. It's like, hey, I know you're Reverse Flash, and Reverse Flash is like, I know who you are, Barry. You're from the future. And it's like this whole neck and neck thing where they're both on an equal playing field. Equal playing field. And at the end of the episode, before Barry goes back to the future, he ends up getting the zip drive with the formula and the ability and to be able to figure out how to go faster. And then in the preview for especially next week's episode, we see him going toe-to-toe with Zoom and whooping Zoom's ass, hopefully. So, but I give it number 3 because of the fact that we really seen a growth in Barry's character from season 1 to 2 and how he handled this whole situation. Keep in mind, there was like little moments throughout the whole episode where you're like, Barry, no! Like, you're gonna screw up the timeline, dude! But all in all, he really handled it really good. So that's why I gave it number 3. Now, number 2 this week. The second Titan this week was Legends of Tomorrow. Now, to some of you out there who either haven't watched Legends of Tomorrow or haven't given it a chance, it's a really, really good show. And it's got really good dynamics. It's got time travel. It's got superheroes. And it's like all these different issues that go on with our characters. And this week's episode especially was really good. And the last time on Legends, Hawk Girl, Adam, and White Canary got left in the 1950s, while Kronos had hijacked the Wave Rider. Now, in this episode, come to find out, Kronos is really McRory Heatwave. And Leonard Snark, Captain Cold, didn't actually kill him. He just kind of hit him over the head with his gun and left him in the woods. And then the Time Masters found him. And then once they found him, they, took him to this planet, and he did all this cool training and really got hyped up. And then he went back in time to go after them. Now, once they get him knocked out and they get everything smoothed out there, then they go to 1960 because the computer system in the Wave Rider was damaged, so they couldn't go back to that exact point. So they had to go to the nearest point, which was 1960. And the other issues that we deal with, we see a lot of character development between Adam and Hawk Girl. We see them really working on this relationship that they have and really building that. And working on the struggles of trying to keep a relationship while working on a superhero time-traveling team. Also, White Canary ends up going with the League of Assassins, and you have this whole end fight with like Hawk Girl and White Canary and trying to bring her back to the team, and they got caught by Ra's al Ghul. The cool thing is we got to see Ra's al Ghul again. So that was really fantastic. The overall episode was a solid 10 in my opinion, and it did really, really good above the rest of the shows. A lot of character development, a lot of moving around with the scenery and with the environments, and a lot of team building in this episode. So that's why I give it number 2. Now, number 1 goes to Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super this week, if you haven't noticed, representing for Super Saiyan God Vegeta, baby. Titan of TV this week goes to Dragon Ball Super, because Dragon Ball Super this week was probably the best episode, the greatest episode that we have seen since Dragon Ball Super started. This whole big fight between Vegeta and Vegeta. We've seen so much character development with Vegeta. We finally see him coming out of this Dragon Ball Z shell that has been put on him and breaking out and showing that, hey, I'm stronger than Goku, I'm stronger than most of these people here, and really displaying all this training and all this work that he's put into, and seeing him grow as a character, not as like this anti-hero kind of sometimes hero, but as the future of Dragon Ball, and seeing him whoop Vegeta's ass and him figuring out a way not just with raw power, but by using his intellect and a strategy, seeing him come out on top. Now, what did you think this week? Who was your 5 Titans of TV? What did you think? Let me know your thoughts, feelings, questions, concerns down below. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned to next week to see who will be the Titan of TV. I'm your host, Spike Fonchero, and I'll see you next time, baby.